Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Moore, and we're going to review volume. Volume is the amount of three-dimensional space an object takes up. As we've been practicing in class, a pencil has less volume than, say, your math book. So volume is the amount of space it takes up. When we're measuring volume, we use the metric system. We usually measure the volume of an object in liters, but when we're talking about a solid object, we will measure it in centimeters cubed. So let's practice finding the volume of a regular object. A regular object would be, in most cases, a rectangular prism. To find the volume of a rectangular prism, you have to use this formula. Volume equals length times width times height. In order to do that, use your ruler, find the measurements of each side, and then you label your answer as centimeters cubed. And we practiced doing this in class. We found the volume of a few tissue boxes in class, the brownie box, as well as the tea box. So we used our ruler, found the length, the width, and the height. We wrote the formula. We substituted length, width, and height for those values. We multiplied together, and then we labeled our answer. Remember, we called these the Frisell steps. And this is what's in your notes to kind of remind you how to do that. Here's a little music clip from our favorite video guy, Mr. Edmonds. Please enjoy.
When you've got length and width and height of an object, you are sure to know it's regular. Length times the width and times the height of the object is the volume it holds. It's regular. It may be meters, but it's often only centimeters. Multiply 3 times will give you cubic centimeters. It's easy to see. No graduated cylinder, no water, just need a ruler and multiply sides, you'll get volume. For regular objects now, volume. Easy to measure the volume. You're gonna get it right now. Volume. When you've got length and width and height of an object, you are sure to know it's regular.
Then, after we practiced finding the volume of a rectangular prism, we moved on to the volume of a liquid, because liquids also take up space. So we used a tool called a graduated cylinder. On the graduated cylinder, it has lines that show the measurements, show the levels, just like when you graduate from high school. And the big thing we kept in mind is when you read a graduated cylinder, you must read from the bottom of the meniscus. And of course, we must look at it eye level. So we practiced finding the volume of liquids by reading graduated cylinders from the bottom of the meniscus. And then the last part of volume that we learned was volume using displacement. So volume of those irregular objects. We talked about rocks, we talked about rings, things that you can't measure the length, the width, and the height and are not a liquid. So in order to find the volume of an irregular shape, you must pour water into a graduated cylinder, record the level, place the object into the graduated cylinder, and watch that the water moves up, because the water is making room for the object that you placed in there. Then you subtract those two levels and you write your answer using the label centimeters cubed. And we use centimeters cubed because it is a solid object. So let's review one more time. To find the volume of a liquid, you need a graduated cylinder. You pour the liquid into the graduated cylinder and you read from the bottom of the meniscus using a label of milliliters. To find the volume of a rectangular prism, you need a ruler. You measure the length, the width, and the height. You multiply them together using the formula, and you label your answers in centimeters cubed because it is a solid. When you're finding the volume of an irregular shape, it could be an eraser, it could be a thimble, it could be a rock, you need a graduated cylinder again. You fill up the graduated cylinder with a certain amount of water. You record that level. You place the object in the water and watch that the water goes up. Then you calculate the displacement by subtracting the two water levels. Then you write your answer as centimeters cubed. I hope that helps you with your review. Please message me if you have any questions. Thanks.
Figure out how we can find the volume of an irregular object like this rock we have. If you have a regular object like a prism or something like that, you can just use a formula, but most things are not like that. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to pour some water into this beaker and measure that amount. Once we've done that, we'll place the rock into the beaker, and it's going to displace water, and the amount of water that it displaces is the volume of the rock. So go ahead and put some water in, and we'll take a measurement of how much water we have. So I look down here, and it looks like I have 580 milliliters roughly. I'm now going to place the rock in, so it's completely under. That's the important thing, is that it's completely under the water. And I notice that it goes up to 780. So the difference between 780 and 580 is 200. So I know that the volume of this rock is 200 milliliters. And that's how you find volume.